Ahead, positive signs on the U.S. labor market. Retailers report sales will highlight a few movers and giving a whole new meaning to Animal House later in the show. Here's your morning briefing for this Thursday. U.S. weekly jobless claims fell more than expected in the most recent week. The 4-week moving average also declined to its lowest level since June of 2008. While the ADP employment report showed a huge 325,000 gain in private payrolls, which was nearly double the estimate. These figures come a day before the big Labor Department December jobs report. However, the ADP number has shown big gains in previous reports that were not matched by the Labor Department results. So we'll have to see how it all pans out. Retailers reporting December comparable store sales today. So far, about 60% of the firms tracked by Thomson Reuters have beaten expectations, while the rest have met or missed. JCPenney topped expectations slightly, but said sales for the fourth quarter will be down just a bit, while Target missed expectations and lowered its earnings forecast for the fourth quarter. Barnes & Noble also in the news, saying it is considering splitting off its Nook electronic reader, and it cut its full-year forecast. In Europe, more sovereign debt concerns after a French auction today. Let's go to Axel Threffel in London. So Axel, yields are climbing again. This after we had a pretty good auction yesterday in Germany. So what's going on?
Yeah, we did, Jen. Successful, but not impressive is the general view of yesterday and the one in France today. It was a big test of market sentiment. Will France be able to fund its debts? Will Italy? Will Spain when they auction? And it looks like we got through today pretty much unscathed. Borrowing costs, as you said, were up slightly, but demand was good, and that is important, of course, because there's been all this worry about the French credit rating. So there was a sigh of relief, at least a temporary one. Is the pressure off the rating? Probably not. Most seem to think it's still hanging very much by a thread. So a lot depends on the overall debt crisis, but also on France's own measures now to deal with its debts and stave off recession there, Jen.
Obviously, financials getting hit on this. We have financials down here about 0.8%. How are stocks doing, though, over there overall?
Yeah, you know, not great today, Jen. We talked about UniCredit yesterday, that huge share offering, what that implies for the banks. Well, that taste is still lingering today. There's clearly still a big cloud hanging over the market regarding the bank's ability to raise fresh capital. So the bank index very much dragging today. In fact, we're pretty much down from the start. Having said that, we got a little bit of a bounce on the back of those U.S. jobs numbers. The French auction didn't make things worse, so not all bad.
So on a lighter note, Axel, the economy in the UK may be shrinking, but all these animal stories seem to be getting my attention this morning. You've got something with the zoo population over there?
Yeah. I thought you might raise this one. Yeah. Spare a thought for these guys at London Zoo, Jen. The annual count started yesterday. I know all of you guys over there are going to be laughing at this, but every single mammal, bird, fish, reptile, amphibian, great or small, has to be counted. 752 species, 18,500 creatures. Apparently it's really hard to count the penguins. Something to do with them all looking exactly the same and whizzing around at high speeds, I guess. There is a serious side to this, though. The numbers are sent to global databases to help save endangered species. Now, I mean, we think we've got it bad watching the yield on the 10-year tick up and down. Imagine trying to find 10 stick insects who are experts in blending into their surroundings.
I like the guy pointing to the different penguins trying to get them. All right. Thank you for a little bit of a laughter as we look at that French auction. We needed that. Thanks, Axel. All right. Well, the tabloid wars are heating up here in New York, and it is all thanks to a big player from the UK phone hacking scandal. Colin Myler, the former editor of the now defunct News of the World, he lost his job when the paper was shuttered over the summer. Well, he has a new gig, editor-in-chief of the New York Daily News. Interestingly enough, this job puts him in direct competition with his former employer, News Corp, and Rupert Murdoch, who owns the New York Post. Should make for some interesting headlines, to say the least. At Paris's Louvre, the outside is now competing with the inside for the best art. The museum giving a sneak peek of a new structure that will house its Islamic art collection. The architects say the sail-like roof made up of small layers of glass and gold discs aims to resemble a sheet of silk, alluding to the Islamic headscarf. The Louvre said it was the biggest architectural undertaking since its famous glass pyramid 20 years ago. The gallery opens this summer. From art to music, it's not exactly Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, but Warren Buffett will be serenading millions of Chinese on the first day of Chinese New Year later this month. According to a state news agency, he has taped a video specially for the annual Spring Festival Gala in which he sings and plays the guitar, although we're guessing it may be the ukulele, as that tends to be his instrument of choice. No details on his set list, but the Oracle of Omaha may be a distant relative of Jimmy Buffett. He calls him cousin after all, so we're hoping for Margaritaville or Cheeseburger in Paradise, something like that. And finally, remember that first day of school when you left your mom and dad behind for the first time? It's a bit like that at a China zoo. 12 panda cubs have left their mothers for the first time to live together as a group. It's one step on the road to independence. The cubs, who are a few months old, can play and fight to their heart's content without their parents butting in. Those zookeepers are keeping a close eye on them, and I guess they'll be a lot easier to count than the penguins in London. That's your morning briefing this Thursday. I'm Jen Rogers, and this is Reuters.